had to start your business all over again, is there anything you would have done differently in terms of setting it up and getting a product to customers?
Yes, for sure. Regret is a big word, but the only thing that I wish we would did differently is not focusing on two markets. Do you agree, Martin?
Absolutely. Roel also is a bit of daredevil. He does jumps that I would never even attempt, even if I was drunk.
Welcome back to Raw AI Solutions, the podcast where we explore how business leaders navigate the fast-moving world of AI and digital transformation. I'm Denise Powell, your host, and today we are joined by Martin Eames and Roel Reijers, both co-founders of Final One. So welcome to the podcast, Martin and Roel.
Good morning. Great to be here.
Hello.
Great to have you. I was wondering if you could kick us off by telling us a little bit about yourselves and about Final One.
Martin, you first.
Oh, thank you, Roel. So hi, I'm Martin Eames. I'm co-founder of Final One. Roel is my business partner. Obviously, I'm based in the UK. Roel is based in the Netherlands, but we've worked together for a number of years previously. But this is our company, Final One.
I'm Roel. I'm based in the Netherlands, and like Martin said, we are working together for 10 to 12 years. And after a few other things we did together, the idea was to do something together that was our own. And from this, Final One is born.
Can you tell us a little bit about Final One? What exactly is it?
Final One are maintenance products, mainly for bikes at the moment. This is because I'm biking for years. Since '97, I'm on the mountain bike. From the previous things we did, it was in car detailing. We did move to bike detailing, basically. So now we are building a lineup to clean bikes.
And tell us about your journey. How did the two of you meet? How did you start Final One? Tell us about that journey.
That's something Martin can tell perfectly, I think.
Yeah, sure, thanks. So Roel and I, we obviously worked together, as we mentioned, with a detailing company before, or it was a products distribution company. And we basically just got to know each other really well through that. Roel was basically managing all of the distribution for mainland Europe and then into the UK and Ireland, which is where I'm based. So we got to know each other. We did a lot of trips together and basically sort of built up a pretty good friendship during that time. Then we decided to step away from what we were doing, mainly because things had changed. Brexit had changed a lot of the kind of working practices and the costs for us. So that's how we started Final One. Basically, we really sort of looked at what did we want to do. We talked previously around branching out and doing something together if we had the opportunity. That kind of seed was sown a few years ago. Really decided that, Final One was something we really wanted to do. We came up with some concepts and some branding around it and, went over and had a long meeting over a sort of course of a week to decide how to do it and launch it. And basically that's all behind us now. And the roller skates are well and truly on the feet and we're moving.
The biggest thing is where the idea came from for Final One is how we, as customers of the companies we work for, were treating us, because we want to do it different. We want to be a people company. We don't want to evolve around numbers. We want to evolve around the people and the people that support Final One. And from there, we will grow. That's the main thing we want to do. And also the things we want to change from things that we did in the past.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think it's really pulling that knowledge and the experience that we've had from working together, the frustrations, I think, of how things were structured previously. And we had no autonomy around the company. So things were very hard to change, very slow to change. There was a lot of background bureaucracy around, that we couldn't really, we were very much in a box. And even when we saw that things could really change and we could improve it, often we really found that, we just weren't allowed to do that. And hence, we often spent many a phone call sorting problems out where we thought, we could just change this and do it. So we've basically pulled all that knowledge into Final One, those practices, that kind of change of direction and autonomy that we needed. And hence, now it's really focused around the customer experience and working together and getting to know them and doing events together. And that's really what we wanted to do. And I think, we're a lot happier now.
Important. It's so important,
for sure.
Knowing your company culture and where you want your company to go and how you want your company to run. It's that's one definitely theme I'm seeing across all these companies that are coming to this podcast. So that's brilliant. In today's episode, we're going to be diving into the real world challenges that startups are facing, and especially as they're trying to stay ahead of AI, technology expectations, as well as customer behavior. Final one is growing a physical product, but in a digital world. How do you stay focused on growth when things like AI and customer expectations keep changing so quickly?
It was mainly around sort of how we came up with the concept for Final One. So what was the brief that we wanted to do? What was the brand that we wanted to make? You know, did it want to be serious? Did we want to be fun? Did we want to be active? Did we just want it to be office, you know, kind of officey feeling, or did we actually want it to feel as though it's out there with the people doing what we do and when we love? So really, it was around kind of knowing your customer, getting to see kind of how that works, and then basically around kind of how AI and everything fits into that. Obviously, we're on a journey with that. We're really just discovering kind of what it could do and what we think it might be able to do. But really, we're looking to, sort of integrate a lot of our processes around, kind of how Final One works, from the customer placing their order through to the order being picked, packed and sent, invoicing and that sort of stuff. So at the moment, we do things very manually, and we've got a team behind us that kind of do a lot of that work that you won't see on camera or really see anywhere that we are. But it's really kind of leveraging and looking at what AI can do to really strengthen us and give us that edge a little bit more out there in the marketplace.
Well, that's perfect, isn't it? Because when it comes to getting and keeping those customers, I mean, what's working well for you right now? I mean, where do you think smarter tools or automation like AI could save you time and money?
So I think what's working well is, we are very connected with our customer base. We've got something that we really enjoy doing. We've got a real passion about, and it's our ambassador program. And what that actually is basically we are working with riders that are already out in different fields. So whether they're gravel riders, downhill, even road racers, we've basically built a team of people that have, either through people that we know already or just literally through our social media, they've contacted us, and we've basically put one person from our team in charge of that. And then basically we just literally kind of use that. They obviously wear our branding, they've got access to our products and things as well, but we're also working with them for the events and things that they're attending. So we've started to put our presence into those areas as well. So we're building customers that are able to sort of see and start to associate who we are with our riders. And that's kind of some of the things that we're doing and putting into practice. We've obviously got more things we want to do. I think AI is going to really help us with that journey.
For me personally, because I'm based in the Netherlands, I also have a bike shop. I'm pretty well known in the bike scene in the Netherlands. People know me, and that's where I find the growth now. So for me, the biggest challenge we have is how do we integrate my physical being in the bike industry into the AI world. Where I think AI can help us is on emailing, social media, marketing materials to create videos. But I really like the physical part of it, that I'm in the bike industry and that people just know me. I also have a Final One helmet, so people always ask, are you sponsored by Final One? Yeah, something like that is always my reply. And then we have a conversation about it. And basically 9 of 10 times, an hour later, I got a like from the person, or they follow Final One on the socials. So also there we are integrating well. So the biggest question is, how do we put this integrated with AI?
Yeah, and that is the great question, because a lot of startups, AI is moving so fast. Every few weeks something brand new is being released, and it's like, how do you find out what's the best AI for your company to be able to launch it, especially as it's a physical product in a digital world? But many startups use a lot of different tools to actually get work done. Where have you felt the most stress or slowdowns, especially when you're trying to grow or run the team smoothly, like those manual repetitive processes? Where have you found the most stress?
Initially, it was all around finding the customer. So, what methods do we use? Obviously, we're a fresh brand starting out into, quite a saturated market in some aspects. How did we want to stand out? What did we want to do differently? And so obviously the social media presence was, a key thing to kind of getting Final One out there. How do we reach them? What sort of content do we want to put out? The frequency of that, and also making sure that everything that we do reflects what the brand is about. And I think that's it's quite a challenge actually trying to do that. You can do loads of social media. You can make social media about anything these days, but in terms of actually keeping it to a topic, keeping it relevant to what we're doing and growing and sort of showing it, people where we want to go and what events we're into and how we want to be seen, that's quite a challenge in terms of coming up with that content, being creative. And, the frequency that's part of that is also it's quite hard to do. Roel and I have spent many an evening and a night talking about, what's the next week in terms of our social media, what have we got? And that's where we've leveraged a lot from what we're involved with already. So like we mentioned with Ambassador Program, they're doing loads of fun stuff, really interesting stuff. Roel also is a bit of a daredevil, so he goes to Winterberg in Germany and he does jumps that I would never even attempt, even if I was drunk. So I think, he's also very creative. He's got a great kind of eye for what's catchy, what's not. And because he's doing more of that kind of event and placement, it's really easy to kind of use that knowledge and content that he's doing as well. Some of that, anyone can go out there and have a look at. It's quite interesting and quite eye-opening, some of the stuff that he attempts and gets away with.
Yeah, but I think that's also a strong point for Final One, is that we are in the biking industry. So we know what they want, we know what they like, we don't know what they don't want. So that's a good thing. But the biggest thing is, how do we get it with the customer? So we have tons of ideas, and I have more ideas than I can imagine, but how do I get it on a video or whatever? Because most of the times when I do something and it's big and I film it, because then I have my phone with me, especially in the bike park, and then you look at the video and you think, is that all? But if you are there, it's just huge. So that's the challenge. How do we get it on video, how it is in real life? You know what I mean? So
Absolutely.
we have to see. But that's one of the challenges.
Yeah, well, actually, that brings me to one of my questions I was going to ask. What is your biggest challenge right now?
Biggest challenge is to get everything organized and in line for the breakthrough where we are working for. Because obviously we have sales, we have customers, Final One is growing, but I'm convinced there will be a point that we cannot close the tap anymore and it will keep flowing. And my biggest challenge with Martin is, I think, to have everything ready for that moment. For now, I think we can manage for a short period of time, because a lot of processes that we have in the company are still manual and by hand. But also at this point, we need more than our hands to make sure that when it happens, we can
Absolutely. It's
go
a point
for
where
it.
you hit the pivot and scale. It's the make or the break moment, but you're preparing for that.
Yeah, like I said, we are growing and things are changing, but I'm convinced there will be a point that is so much growth at once that you just need more than only your hands to keep up with it. So we don't go under because the growth is too fast.
So here's a question for the two of you. If you had to start your business all over again, is there anything you would have done differently in terms of setting it up and getting a product or customers?
Yes, for sure. We had the only thing that I regret is a big word, but the only thing that I wish we would did differently is not focusing on two markets. We focus directly on car care and bike care. And now we are on our journey. We face the problem that we can do both at the same time. So now we put the focus on bikes, but obviously we did invest in car care stuff and products. And we have good products, but the way we want to build the business, it was better to focus on just bikes or just cars and not both. I think that's. Do you agree, Martin?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think you've said exactly what was on my mind with that question. Yeah, you know, I think we have the concept we had. Obviously, we had worked in. Our background is very much car detailing products and industrial cleaning products and protection. We obviously know that market really, really well, but also I think yeah, we're a little bit kind of drawn in terms of we know that market really, really well. We've obviously got contacts in that market, so it was easy to go straight to market using that process. But realistically, where we wanted to be and where I think our heart was is to go into the bike area. Mainly because that's an outdoor pursuit that we really love. That's kind of what connected us and created Final One in the first place. So I think it was, yeah, I think on reflection, yeah, that was something I think we should have maybe changed straight up front. I think it would have energized us more straight into what we were doing rather than trying to, yeah, juggle two things at once. And with a new brand and a new purpose and a new set of products and everything else we were doing, it was a lot to manage. And yeah, I think it was stressful. It was fun. It was always fun. But I think, yeah, we're much more settled in what we're doing now. We know our vision and we can go back to car detailing and things later on. We've still got customers in the background that are using those products and love them. But I think, yeah, we're not really going to concentrate on the area so much for now.
What makes the product different from the rest in the market right now?
So we did quite a lot of testing, obviously, in terms of we knew what wasn't working in the bike market. Some of the products leave your brakes really squeaky. When you've washed the bike, they're obviously very chemical heavy. We didn't want really any of that kind of stuff in our products and brands. So we found a company that Roel would work with previously. They were able to pretty much jump straight onto that brief that we wanted something much more pH friendly, lower chemical base, much better cleaning aspects to it. And, you know, in terms of the environment being, because obviously people are cleaning their bikes out in the woods, all sorts of places, especially at bike parks. So there's a lot of contamination aspects that you could have with products. We just wanted to get rid of that and just take a fresh brand with a fresh approach straight to market. And we've created that. And the products now, all the feedback that we get is always love these products, especially Drivetrain Cleaner. It's one of the best products that we've got on our market at the moment. New products are coming, which I think are going to equally be impressive to the users, but that's something we really wanted to take away.
Also, a big difference is in terms of usage of the products. All products, or not all, but the cleaning products are dilutable. So one of our bottles, 500 ml of bike cleaner, you can make a minimum of 5 liters bike cleaner. So it's also financially very attractive for customers. The second thing is our products, they smell great. If you use them, you don't get overwhelmed by chemical smells or whatever. It's just blueberry smell. So even when you're done, your bike just smells like blueberry. So
I can
that's a good
testify
thing.
today because I've used some of your products and they do smell amazing.
That's one thing I wanted, that they smell great.
So Roel, you spoke about the challenge of bringing reality into digital, and that's one of your biggest challenges. But Martin, what do you feel one of your biggest challenges are now at Final One?
I think, to kind of echo what Roel said earlier around the growth and being ready for that. One of the things that we've been very conscious of, certainly with scaling a business, is more around how do we reach our customers. So we've got some great companies that are working with us right now. They love the products. The sales are going really, really well. The feedback's always really positive. And it's about growing that. So how do we actually reach those bigger companies, chains of shops, distributors as well? Obviously, we want to, in the future, be working with those and starting to meet those people as obviously we scale as well. So it's really around, what's that journey actually look like? Can AI help us with that? And if so, we'd love to know the process to really sort of glean the knowledge from that, but also profile the customer as well. So it's knowing that they're good bike shops, they will use the products, they've got the right customer base, and one of the other challenges, obviously, is that there are brands that are already established out in the marketplace. We've got an edge that we know. Roel has just spoken about the USP. You really can't go wrong using these products. You're always going to get great results with them. So I think for us, it's really that next stepping point, and how do we actually reach that, gear ourselves up. We've done a lot of the prep work, so we're ready for that step now.
That's excellent. So zooming out a little bit, where would you like Final One to be in the next 6 to 12 months from now?
I would like to have it in the top 3 bike cleaning brands. That's what I would like. But where we will be, we will see. Like I said before, we want to Final One evolve around people. We don't want to push the customers we have, because at the end, they will be our customer to make money. That's the thing that I learned from the past. Pushing is not helping. So where we exactly will be, I don't know. But I think if we all face forward and we all keep the goal in mind, we will be a lot further than we are now.
And I think in terms of things that we're doing already, I think in terms of the events and sponsoring events, we really enjoy that. And I think, in terms of the next sort of year or 18 months down the line, but certainly for next season, we'd like to do more events. So be present at more, meeting more customers. Obviously, our ambassadors are attending those events anyway, so supporting those better. We've actually, just as a small story, but there's 2 riders that are actually doing a massive road trip around France at the moment. So they're out into the Alps, and they're doing a kind of camper van, but doing loads of great rides, including some of the some of the big events out in France, Tour de France, for instance, some of their routes. And we were actually talking just the other day around next year, it would be great to actually sponsor those guys to do that, so have a bit of fun with it. So I think it's kind of doing those kinds of things. It's very easy to do the office, we want to do this and chunk it up, but it's actually bringing the reality as to what are people actually doing out there, being part of that and having some fun with it.
Excellent. And so if you could solve one issue today with a click of a finger, what would it be?
That's a good question.
It's always giving another 3.
I think in part of that, I think it's the background processes. They take up so much time.
That's a good one, I think.
And it's how do we link that together? Are there tools out there that we can leverage to use and actually, for instance, a CRM system, we need that kind of technology in the background to monitor and kind of store our information. At the moment, we've got very separate ways that we do things, and it's how do we actually link that together? Are there tools out there that can help us to do that? And how quickly can we kind of establish that and utilize it?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I meant before. That's where we are not prepared on the breakthrough, because all our systems that we have are only linked by us. They are not automatically linked. So everything needs to be updated separately.
Absolutely.
If you know what I mean. So that's a good point that everything is done.
Yeah. Well, before we wrap up, is there one piece of advice that you'd like to give any other startup founders out there who are trying to grow smarter and more efficiently in the market?
Yeah, I would definitely say enjoy what you do. When you do that, it isn't a job. It's actually more of a passion that you're following. You can make a difference with what you do, and always keep that in mind. What do you actually want to do as part of what you're doing? What do you want to change out there that other brands may not actually be addressing? And don't make it all about the money. A lot of people, I think, just go after one thing and they think they're going to be, absolutely rich in a matter of weeks. Don't be disillusioned by, literally the takings that you can make. Actually look at what your brand's going to do, what you want to deliver, and what you want people to know you by. And I think that's really important.
Absolutely. And there's a great saying about, if you do what you absolutely love to do, you never work a day in your life. So yeah, you've hit the perfect spot there. Well, I'd just like to thank both of you for being on the podcast. It's been utterly refreshing to hear about the real pain points of startups, especially the way that of AI and how they can actually support you. Finally, if people would like to get hold of you or know more about Final One, where's the best place that they could do that?
So I think social media, one place. If you're interested in becoming an ambassador, we'd love to hear from those sorts of people out there that are seeing this. Our website is www.final-1.com. So go to that. There's an ambassador page on there with a contacts page. So you can definitely reach us by that. If you actually want to reach Roel and myself individually, obviously email is a great way to do that. So my email address is martin@final-1.com. Roel is Roel, R-O-E-L, at final-1.com. Can reach us that way. Our phone numbers and contact details are out there as well through our contacts page. So yeah, there's plenty of ways you can reach us. We're always available, and we'd love to hear from people.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure having you on the podcast today.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you very much also.